Hey everyone, Summer Robbins here, and if you're watching this, chances are you're considering a move to Casper, Wyoming. Or maybe you're just curious about what it's like here. Either way, I am so glad that you are watching this video. Moving is a big deal, and as a wife, mom, and realtor slash relocation specialist, I know firsthand how many questions come up when you are deciding on a new place to call home. You're not just picking a house, you are picking a community, a lifestyle, and a way of life for you and your family. So, today I am breaking down the top questions that I get asked from people who are considering relocating right here to Casper. I'll share with you what you need to know, what my personal experiences have been, and a few things that I wish I had known before moving here. So, let's dive in.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, starting off with question number one. How bad is the winter and how much snow do you get? Obviously, everyone's tolerance for cold and snow is subjective. Where things get really interesting is throwing in the wind, which also happens to be its worst in the winter. So, in terms of how bad is it? Well, we do get some sub zero temp days in the winter and lots of wind. On average, we get around 70 inches of snow per year. But the silver lining is we do get lots of sunshine even in the winter, so you can still soak up all that vitamin D. However, we typically don't start to creep up into the 60s or 70s until around May. Now, full transparency, we did have a really heavy winter that set records a few years ago during the winter of 2022 into 2023. And real talk, I was itching for my spring break vacation at the beach that year. I mean, it was darn cold, and we had over 120 inches of snow that year in Casper. It was something else. But that's also why I like to highlight the importance of taking little trips throughout the year to help balance these longer winters that we have here in Casper. It's just super important, in my opinion. But the good news is that the winters following that one that we had a few years ago have been pretty mild. In fact, some might even say they've been pretty easy. My husband didn't even have to use the snowblower last year, which was like amazing. So it really just varies from year to year. But that being said, it all comes down to preparation when it comes to how winter is for you. The more prepared you are, the better you'll fare, which leads me into question number two, which is, do you need four-wheel drive? And this is probably one of the top questions that I get. And the answer is actually yes and no. If you're staying in town, you can get by without a four-wheel drive or all-wheel drive vehicle. Casper's main roads are well maintained and snow removal is pretty efficient in the winter. But, and this is a big but, if you are planning on exploring back roads or rural properties or mountain areas, you will definitely want that extra traction. Our dirt and gravel roads can get muddy and rutted, and our winter driving conditions can be unpredictable. Now, if you don't have four-wheel drive, my biggest pro tip is this: get yourself some snow tires. I cannot stress this enough on how much of a difference dedicated snow tires will improve your driving experience in the winter. They grip the road better, they help prevent sliding, and make navigating Casper's winter roads just so much safer. All right, now let's dive into question number three, and that is, what is the altitude effect? All right, so let's talk about this because Casper sits at 5,150 feet above sea level, which is a lot higher than many other parts of the country. And if you're moving here from a lower elevation, it can take some time to adjust. Most people say it takes around 60 to 90 days to fully acclimate here. But what does that adjustment really look like? So, symptoms of altitude adjustment may include feeling short of breath, doing simple things like walking upstairs or doing any cardio. You may experience a slightly faster heart rate for a little while. You'll probably feel thirstier than normal, and your skin and lips may feel drier because the air is thinner. Now, I am not a doctor, so if you have any medical concerns, definitely check with your healthcare provider before moving here. But from my personal experience, the altitude adjustment lasted for me around 1 month. And now here are some pro tips to help with the altitude adjustment, okay? How about this one? Drinking lots and lots of water. If you're thirsty, it's probably because you are dehydrated. You also need to have a moisturizer. You need to make sure that you're using lotion and that you are wearing chapstick. You also need to make sure that you are wearing sunscreen because you are closer to the sun. You're going to burn faster. Also, this is an interesting one that I found out unexpectedly, which is related to blood donation. So, my husband and I are very active blood donors. And when we would donate blood back in California, we would bounce back like the next day. But here we've noticed that it does take us longer to recover from donating blood. Usually it takes us a good week. And that recovery will really just result in us feeling extremely fatigued and just really like winded. So, is this a deal breaker in terms of how we donate blood? No, absolutely not. We are still active blood donors. It just means that we have to plan ahead for those things. And we're definitely not running a 5K, the weekend after we donate blood. Okay, moving on to question number 4. And this one is a fun one. And that is, what is there to do in Casper? The one thing I always hear is, what fun stuff is there to do here? And I just have to laugh because honestly, what isn't there to do here? Okay. Here's a quick rundown of what Casper has to offer year round, starting with entertainment and events like our Fort Wyoming Event Center that hosts year round concerts, sporting events, expos, and rodeos, including the College National Finals Rodeo, or one of my favorites, the API Chili Cook Off, which happens in February. We also have the Rialto Theater that has been converted into a comedy club, recently featuring big names like Adam Carolla or Patrick Warburton. We also have 2 amazing movie theaters with reclining seats for an afternoon flick or cozy night out. And to top things off, we have 2 bowling alleys, we have a roller rink, we have museums like the Trails Museum or the Nicolason Arts Center. And we have plenty of local shops and restaurants and those big box stores too, like Kohl's, Sam's Club, Sportsman's, or Target to peruse as well if that is what you are looking for. In terms of outdoor adventures, we have hiking, biking, skiing, snowshoeing, floating, world class fishing. We have our Platte River Trails, which is an 11-mile trail system for walking, running, and biking. Seriously, you guys, Casper is definitely not a sleepy town that some keyboard warriors might like to coin it to be online. There's a reason why I like to call Casper the biggest small town because really, that's what it is. All right, moving on to question number 5. Is Casper dog friendly? And the answer to that is Casper loves dogs. I'd actually say it's more uncommon not to have a dog here. In fact, I recently had clients needing to bring their dog to a closing, and their dog was welcomed with open arms, literally. Everyone at the title company was loving on my client's dog, and it definitely added some fun and enthusiasm to closing day. It was just a really sweet moment. And when looking for places to take your dog to, we have Morad Park, an off leash dog run area, and there are multiple other dog parks, but my favorite is Lake Mackenzie Dog Park, which is a huge fenced in area where your pup can run free while you walk some laps. All right, question number 6, which is, how is the healthcare? And this is a biggie. Casper's healthcare system is better than you might expect for a city of our size, and we keep getting better and better. Banner Wyoming Medical Center is the biggest hospital in the state and the only level 2 trauma center that we have in Wyoming. There are also plenty of primary care, specialty care, and urgent care options. However, there is one thing to note, and that is that medical care can be more expensive here than bigger cities. And because of that, some people travel to states like Colorado or Utah for certain procedures to save money. So, if healthcare costs are a concern for you, that may be something to consider in moving here. Question number 7, and that is, what is the bug situation? And great news, if you don't like bugs, you are in the right place here in Casper. We don't really deal with bugs for 8 to 9 months out of the year. And in the summer, there are some mosquitoes near water, like our river or reservoirs. And yes, you may notice a bug bite or two after a day on the water, but it's nothing, and I mean nothing, like the South.
A tiny rat.
And trust me, I sympathize with all of you Southerners out there dealing with what seems like an all out war with the bugs. I visit my family down there, and let me tell you, I am grateful for Wyoming's minimal bug situation. Okay, and moving on to number 8. What are the best schools in Casper? I have kids, and I know one of the biggest concerns when relocating is where are the best schools? And here's the great news: Casper has school of choice. And that means that you're not automatically assigned to a school based on your home address. Instead, you can request placement at the school that best fits your child's needs. Our Natrona County School District offers school of choice, meaning that you can apply for your child to attend any school in the district, and as long as there's availability, your child can register there. Now, the district tries to honor all of the requests that they get, but if the school is full, they will offer placement at your second and third choices. School choice is especially helpful if you are looking for a specific program, smaller class sizes, or a certain learning environment. We also have several charter schools and private school options to consider, such as the Wyoming Classical Academy or the Casper Classical Academy. Our private schools consist mostly of faith based schools to explore, so keep that in mind too. We also have dual enrollment through Casper College with the BOCES program, which allows students to take dual enrollment courses once they are in high school. Bottom line, one of the great things about Casper is that families have options to find a school and education that aligns with their child's learning style, the family's values, and your needs. All right, now we have covered a lot, like vehicles, altitude, schools. But here is probably the top question that I get, and that is, what is the housing market like in Casper? And my friends, this is where we need to have a conversation. The truth is, the Casper housing market is constantly changing, just like any market, right? Honestly, my job is to help find you the best home that works within your terms. Terms such as what's your budget? And what's most important within your budget? Is it size, condition, location? Whatever it may be, we will work through it together. And the answers to these questions completely change what the market looks like for you. That's why I'd love to chat with you one on one, whether it's a quick phone call, text, or email, or even a Zoom call. This way, I can better tailor my advice based upon what's most important to you and your family and what home you need to make that all work. So, there you have it, folks. I think we covered 9 of the most common questions in moving to Casper. And just a reminder, I know that relocating is a big decision, and I would love to help you navigate that. If you have made it to the end of this video, please know that if Casper is on your radar, it is my goal to help make this move your best one yet. So please don't be a stranger. Reach out when the time is right for you, and show me some love and subscribe to the channel so that way you can stay on top of all things Casper. Drop some comments below on what other questions you may have, or better yet, you can just send me a text or email. And in the meantime, please, you guys, take care, and I will see you in the next one.